I'm Mark from Gangsterdam, and I'm at Synergy 2013.
The international acts are really awesome.
I have seen Red Jumpsuit. I was super impressed. He can really sing. Ronnie can sing really well.
Hi, what's up? I'm Ronnie from the USA, and you're watching MK Flash. That's right, Flash.
Woo! Red Jumpsuit Apparatus. Finally! Thank you for coming to South Africa. How are you doing?
I'm great, thanks for having us.
Oh, now I know why you're lying in a hammock, because you're saving yourself a red jumpsuit apparatus.
The one.
Synergy's the best fucking party!
First of all, let's start with Synergy Cape Town.
It was epic. A lot of people, they knew every song. We've been a band 10 years, so we got 3 full-length albums, 2 EPs, and an album that came out before our first official album. So we're talking like over 100 songs. So like, it's hard to choose which ones to play, but everybody knew every word, so it was radical.
Did you ever think when you guys started that you would end off your 10-year tour in South Africa?
No, I didn't. But it's been epic. We got a new record coming out next year on July 4th. So this is kind of the last big tour for us until next year, like midsummer. So we've been going since August, so this is the last. The good thing about that is we're very rehearsed and good, so it's going to be a really good show.
You just mentioned the new album now. You guys mentioned, you announced it on Facebook. Do you think that's the way to go these days for any band in the world? It's Facebook, Twitter. If you want to connect with the fans and tell them what's up, that's sort of the platform.
Well, we're just a very unique, different band. We're not like a lot of bands. We don't have a label and haven't had for almost it's almost 4 years now. I manage the band, and the band themselves, we do all of our social media. My brother does all the social media, and we work with a company called Fuel Online. And we don't do things the same way as most people. So because we don't have a label, we don't use press releases. I haven't done a press release in almost 2 years. That's unheard of. Most managers and labels would tell you that you couldn't survive. Well, we're doing fine. So a lot of that's just like built-in system to where people give money to certain people who are used to getting money to put out things to the press. So it's a lot more punk rock to do things the way that we do it. And that's what we're all about. So I think that if you have if you've built your corporation the way that I have, and you can self-sustain and you can afford to not borrow money from people to run your band, then why do you need to feed the machine? You wind up getting a better record, you get better videos, you get better tours, and but it's hard to do because a lot of bands are just very reliant upon the label. And we were at a time, so I get that. Like, there's different stages of being in a band. Like we said, we've been a band 10 years, so I've seen it all. I was in a band when we were eating, when we could, once or twice or 3 times a week, basically starving to death, living out of a van, touring the States, which is huge. And then from that to signing a record deal to having 2 or 3 huge #1 songs, and then to losing being with a label and trying to figure out how to do it on our own, and then successfully coming back from that. We had 2 U.S. Billboard #1s. I think we're the only independent band in the U.S. that did that this year. Pretty sure, if not, definitely 1 out of like 3. And but the only way we're able to do that is because we went through everything first. So we've seen it all: unsigned, signed, indie, major, whatever. And I've built a system that works for us. And the only way you can do that is from being at the top and the bottom, and then figuring out how to kind of like float closer to the top.
I want to go back to Face Down. Firstly, thank you for the song. One of those songs it's universal. It goes over centuries, if you can say that. Did you guys actually have that in mind when you wrote the song? If like back then, thinking that in 10 years' time, this will still be a song that people listen to and be like, hey, I can identify.
The only question I really get asked most of the time is people always want to know if I write it, because most pop stars, almost every pop star you can name, they don't write their own music. That's cool. It's no offense at all. That's just how the pop world works. But I did write it completely by myself. That's a fact. So I think that's really what blows a lot of people away. So am I surprised that it's still relevant? Not really, honestly, because it's it was just something that I went through as a kid, and I don't think that, unfortunately, the world's ever really going to change enough to where people aren't going to go through that. So there's always going to be another generation of people who went through that. And then after that generation, there's going to be another generation of people who went through that. And then after that generation, there's going to be another generation, and they're all going to get it. So I was just able to share my story with the world, and I'm glad I got it right, because it's not easy to get it right. Any songwriter will tell you it's really easy to get it wrong. It's hard to get it right. So I'm just glad I got it right. So.
While in South Africa, have you guys done any touristy things? Have you seen some sights?
We went to the top of a mountain, which was amazing. I think it's called, it's like something lion, like mountain lion or...
Lion's Head in Cape Town?
Yes, and our merch guy jumped off the mountain and did the glider thing, and which was amazing for him, because he never does anything. So we were like, do it, do it, do it, do it. And like, we kind of peer pressured him into it, but he did it, so I give him credit. He jumped off the mountain. I've never done that. And we went to the beach as well, and you know, a couple of shops and just kind of local culture, and like been hanging out with a lot of locals and taking it all in. And today we're at a really sweet spot, so we've just been taking it easy. You know, if we're playing a show, we don't really like go too hard before the show. We did a long time ago, and that didn't work out so well.
It all started in Middleburg, Florida. Do you know that we have a Middleburg in Joburg? You guys should actually go there and just check it out.
You know, I did an interview with somebody recently, and I'm sorry, I don't remember who it was, but I know it was a major publication, and they asked me that, and that blew my mind, because we're a very small town. Like, we have one McDonald's, which in America, if you have one McDonald's, that's really weird. Like, what? They're usually on every corner, you know? There's usually like 15 McDonald's in a city block, and we have one, so that kind of gives you perspective if you don't know anything about America. Super small town. And, you know, it's cool. It's like to know that there's another one out there. You know, like, I wonder if there's like another me out there. Or like another us, like, but like South African style, you know what I mean? Like, you never know.
For a holiday, I think.
I'd be surprised, but I would be like, I think that's the South African me. I'm gonna go shake his hand right now. What's up, dude?
Dude, thank you very much for joining us on MK Flits. It was an absolute pleasure. And thank you for coming to South Africa as well. And enjoy the Joburg gig tonight, man.
It's gonna rock.